I used to think baby showers were supposed to be one of the happiest days in a woman's life. A celebration of new beginnings, of family and love, of support and joy. I pictured soft pastel decorations, laughter, little games about diapers and baby bottles, and people hugging me with genuine warmth. I imagined myself glowing, basking in the attention of friends and family, loved and cherished. And for a while, on that day, I thought I was getting exactly that. The house was filled with balloons, streamers in pale yellow and mint green, the scent of vanilla cupcakes drifting through the air. Everyone had gathered. My mother, my sister, aunts, cousins, friends from work. I stood there in a flowy maternity dress, smiling for pictures, my hands resting on the curve of my belly. I looked the part, glowing, happy, expectant. To anyone watching, I must have looked like a woman at the height of her joy. But beneath it all, I was trembling. I hadn't admitted it to anyone, not even fully to myself. But there was a question gnawing at me from the inside out. A question I couldn't silence no matter how hard I tried. A question that poisoned the sweetness of every congratulations I heard, every gift I opened. The question was this: what if this baby isn't David's? David, my husband, was standing off to the side of the living room, helping my sister carry in more gifts. He looked handsome that day, even more than usual. Broad-shouldered, calm, dependable. The kind of man who never forgot to take out the trash, who kissed my forehead in the morning, who held me close when I couldn't sleep. He had been nothing but good to me. He deserved the world. And yet I had betrayed him. It had started months earlier, before I even knew I was pregnant. It was stupid, reckless, the kind of mistake you think only other women make. There was a man at work, an occasional contractor named Mark. He wasn't even particularly special, just charming in a dangerous sort of way, quick with compliments, always leaning too close when he talked. At first, I laughed it off. But then I found myself staying late to chat, letting him text me at night, excusing things I shouldn't have. One night, when I'd had a fight with David about something small and meaningless, I let myself fall. I told myself it was just once. Just a mistake, a lapse in judgment. But it wasn't. It became a few times. And then, when I found out I was pregnant, a cold fear took hold of me. Because the timing blurred. Because I couldn't be absolutely certain. I told myself it didn't matter. That it had to be David's. That I would never tell. That I would bury the mistake and be the perfect wife and mother from then on. But deep down, I knew. I knew there was a chance. So as I stood there at my baby shower, smiling for photos, thanking people for onesies and diaper bags, my stomach twisted with dread. Every time David looked at me, my throat tightened. I wanted to confess, to beg forgiveness, but I was too much of a coward. The games began, guessing the baby's due date, measuring the size of my belly with yarn. Laughter filled the room. My friends teased me. My sister took pictures. My mom beamed with pride. I played along, forcing my smile wider, praying no one could see through it. Then came the moment that shattered everything. My mother-in-law clinked her glass, asking for everyone's attention. She said a few words about how excited she was to welcome her first grandchild, how David and I would make wonderful parents. Everyone clapped. And then David stood up. My heart swelled for a second. I thought he was going to give a sweet little speech. Maybe thank everyone for coming. Say something loving about me. Instead, he adjusted his tie, his expression calm, almost too calm, and said, "I want to thank everyone for being here to celebrate today. It means a lot to us, to have all of you here. But before we go any further, I think there's something important I need to share. Something I've known for a little while now." The room went still. My smile froze on my face, my heart hammering against my ribs. I glanced at him, my mouth going dry. David continued, his voice steady. "I recently had a paternity test done." The words crashed over me like ice water. My knees nearly buckled. A few people gasped, Others looked confused. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. David didn't falter. I had to be sure. And the results came back. The baby isn't mine. The silence that followed was deafening. I opened my mouth, but no words came. My vision blurred with tears. Murmurs spread through the room, shocked whispers, eyes darting between us. I felt every gaze burning into me, stripping me bare. David didn't yell. He didn't rage. He just stood there, dignified and calm, the weight of his words hanging in the air. I wanted everyone to know the truth. He said finally, I won't be raising another man's child. Not after everything I've given to this marriage. Then he set down his glass, straightened his jacket, and walked out. Just like that. I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened, my world collapsing in on itself. People were staring at me, my friends, my family, his family. The shame was unbearable. Someone asked if it was true, but I couldn't answer. My mother tried to guide me to a chair, but I shook her off, sobbing, humiliated beyond words. The party was over. People left awkwardly, whispering to each other, eyes filled with pity or judgment. My sister gathered the unopened gifts in silence. My mother refused to look me in the eye. I sat there on the couch, trembling, feeling like my entire life had been set on fire in front of everyone I knew. In the days that followed, David didn't come home. He sent a message through his lawyer instead. He wanted a divorce. He didn't want contact, didn't want explanations. He was done. Mark, the man from work, vanished the moment he heard what happened. He didn't return my texts, didn't answer my calls. I saw him once in the parking lot, and he turned the other way without a word. To him, it had all been a fling, nothing serious. He wasn't going to step up, wasn't going to take responsibility. I was utterly alone. The gossip spread fast. Friends stopped calling. At work, people looked at me differently. My family was furious, disappointed, disgusted. My mother told me she couldn't understand how I could throw away such a good man. My sister refused to speak to me. I became an outcast in my own life. Meanwhile, I heard about David through mutual friends. He was doing well. He'd moved into a new place, started working out more, even joined a new hiking group. People said he seemed lighter, happier, free. He smiled in photos, surrounded by friends, while I was left to sit in the wreckage of my choices. The baby came, and I loved him with everything I had. But every time I looked at him, I was reminded of the truth. Reminded of the life I destroyed, of the man I betrayed, of the family I lost. I thought I could live with my secret forever, that silence and denial would protect me. But in the end, David's silence was louder. His calm, steady truth cut deeper than any shouting ever could. And when he walked away, he took my future with him. Now, the nights are long and quiet. Too quiet. I lie awake listening to the baby's soft breathing, and I wonder how I'll ever explain any of this to him someday. I wonder if he'll hate me too, once he's old enough to understand. All I know is that I destroyed the best thing I ever had. And the man I thought I could deceive saw through me all along. He gave me nothing but love, and I repaid him with betrayal. And when the moment came, he didn't scream or fight. He simply revealed the truth, left me in silence, and walked into a happier life without me. And that silence will haunt me forever.